Hi, my name is Nikipirowicz and I have designed this hat for West Yorkshire Spinners in the wonderful West Yorkshire Spinners Retreat Super Chunky, and you will only need one ball of this yarn to create this hat. This hat starts off with ribbing, which is worked in rows, and then we move on onto the body of the hat, which is worked in double crochet V stitches, and then decreased and finish off with the pom-pom. If you like this video, then please do like, share and subscribe. And don't forget, the link to the pattern is in the description below. Let me show you how it's made. To make the hat, you will need the following: 9mm crochet hook, 10mm crochet hook, lockable stitch marker, tapestry needle with an eye big enough to pass your yarn through, scissors, and of course if you want a pom-pom, then I have used 85mm pom-pom maker. I am using the Knit Pro one. I just find them incredibly easy to use. And of course the lovely ball of squishiness, which is the West Yorkshire Spinners Retreat Super Chunky. Let's get started. We will start our hat from our ribbing, which is worked in rows, then joined to form a big loop. So we will start with the smaller hook, so that's the 9mm one. Grab your yarn and make a slip knot. And now we're going to make 9 chains. So that's yarn around the hook and pull it through the loop on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can see your chains have formed gorgeous V's, so each V is 1 chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now from second chain from hook, we will work 1 double crochet into the top leg of our chain. So that's UK terminology, so that's UK double crochet. In US, that's a single crochet. Into your chain, grab your yarn and pull it through. 2 loops on hook, yarn around the hook and pull it through both. So that's 1 double crochet made. So now into the next chain, yarn around the hook, pull it through. 2 loops on hook, yarn around the hook and pull it through both. So do this through all the chains now. 1, so now we should have 8 double crochets. So you see each stitch has formed a gorgeous V on top. So we just count those V's to make sure that we've got 8 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. 10 your work. So from now on, we will work into the back loop of every single stitch. As I mentioned before, your stitches have formed gorgeous V's on top. So you've got 2 legs of this V. So as you place your work facing you, this is the front loop, the one that is facing you, and this is the back loop, the one at the back. So we will work into the back loop of the V. So we start with chain 1 to give us the correct height. And now we will work into every single stitch. So insert your hook into the back loop only of the double crochet, yarn around the hook, pull it through, 2 loops on hook, yarn around the hook and pull it through both. And again into the back loop of every single stitch. See? So working to the back loop of every single stitch will give us this nice little ridges on our hat. Okay, so again, turn your work, and again, chain 1, and 1 double crochet into the back loop of every single stitch. You will continue to work this way until you have 40 rows altogether. And I will see you back here when the ribbing is done. So when you finish your ribbing, your work should look like this. Your last row should have been the wrong side row. So for the next one, you are faced on the right side. So now what we're going to do, we're going to join those two ends together to form a large loop. So with the two wrong sides facing each other, hold the two ends together like so. Chain 1, insert your hook into the back loop of the next stitch and into the other side of the foundation chain. Yarn around the hook, pull it through both of those stitches on your hook and then through the loop. Now into the next stitch and into the next chain. Yarn around the hook, pull it through both of those stitches and the loop on your hook. And continue to do that until the whole row is done. There you go, the last one. Okay, now change your hook. So change it to the 10mm one. And now what we are going to do, we're going to work 40 double crochets on the top edge of our ribbing. Chain 1, we're going to insert a hook into the row edges, so basically the edges of our stitch. So in, grab your yarn and pull it through. So that's UK double crochets, US single crochets, and pull it through. Now this one, you see that one has quite a large loop and a little yarn going through. Then you've got the second loop and the yarn going through. I usually insert it under the second strand, purely because I think it gives me a bit more stability and it doesn't stretch that much. You see, so I 2 double crochet done into the 2 rows. So now into the next one and the following one. So continue to do this until all the stitches are worked and you've got 40 stitches all together. Now when you've done all of this, make sure you count your stitches again to make sure you've got 40. And now we are ready to start our lovely lacy pattern. For this one, we will work in continuous spiral, so you might find it useful to use a stitch marker to place it on the first stitch to denote the beginning of your round. Into the first stitch, we will work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. This creates a lovely little V stitch. So that's US single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Insert your hook into the first stitch. And now we are working into the 2 legs of the stitch. You see, so insert your hook under the whole V of your stitch. Grab your yarn and pull it through. 2 loops on hook. And pull it through. Now place the marker on that stitch that you have just made. So again, this is your marker to denote the beginning and end of your round. Chain 1 and 1 double crochet into the very same stitch. See, so that is a lovely little V stitch. Now we're going to miss the next stitch and work a V stitch again into the next one. So on the cowl you've got V stitches as well, but those V stitches are formed with half treble, chain 1 and half treble, and these ones are formed with double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. So miss the next stitch and the same, so 1 double crochet, chain 1, followed by another double crochet into the same stitch. See, and again we're going to miss the next stitch and work double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all into this stitch, and we're going to work this all the way around. Miss this stitch and we work a little V stitch in the same stitch, miss, V stitch. So now we are almost at the end, and our repeat should end with miss one stitch. You see, so we've got one stitch here at the end, and now we know we have completed a round. Remove your marker. So now what we are going to do, we're going to only work in the chain spaces in between our V stitches. So we're going to miss the stitches in the actual V stitch. So we're going to miss the stitches, only work into the chain space. So one double crochet into the chain space, place your marker to denote the beginning of your round. And again, we work in continuous spiral, which means we do not chain one to give us the correct height of a stitch, and we also don't slip stitch to end the round. One double crochet, chain one, followed by one double crochet into the V stitch. Miss those two stitches here and immediately work into the next chain space of your next V stitch. So one, chain one, and another double crochet. Miss next two stitches, so this one and this one here, and work into the chain space of your V stitch. So one double crochet, chain one, followed by another double crochet. Miss those two stitches here and work into your chain space. And continue to repeat that until the whole round is finished. Now what I want you to do, which we should have really done on a first round, I want you to count how many V stitches you have. You should have 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Perfect. Okay, so now what we have to do again, slip your stitch marker off. And again, we're going to work only into the chain spaces of our V stitches and one double crochet. Replace your stitch marker. Chain one and one double crochet into the same space. So now what I would like you to do is work in the same way as we have done our last round for altogether 9 rounds. So we have done 2, we just started on our third. So 2, 7 more. So 9 rounds of V stitches altogether. And I will meet you back here when all those rounds are completed. So when you finish all your rounds, your work should look like this. You can see all your little V stitches going up is 1 round. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 altogether. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do a little decrease round. And then we are almost ready to fasten off a hat. So remove your stitch marker. The next round is worked into the chain spaces of the V stitches again as well, but this time we will only work 1 double crochet into the space. So insert your hook into the next space, grab your yarn and pull it through, 2 loops on hook, yarn around the hook and pull it through both of those loops. Replace your stitch marker. Now miss those 2 stitches in between and again into the chain space and just 1 double crochet. And repeat that all the way around. So just 1 double crochet into every chain space. So on this hat, this is how we create a decrease. Oh, sorry. So let's now count them all just to make sure that we've got 20. So we're starting with the double crochet where the stitch marker is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 is the last one. Perfect. Now what I would like you to do is cut your yarn, leaving about 40 to 50 centimeters of tail. Pull out this loop, so we've got yarn. You can remove your stitch marker now. Grab your tapestry needle, feed the end of your yarn through the eye of the needle, and now what we're going to do, we're going to gather all the stitches to bring our hat in together. So now we are going to go under our first stitch, so from outside in, and then miss this stitch, and from inside out of the next one. Then we've got this one, so you go in, miss this stitch, and out. In, miss, out. And continue to do this all the way around until all the stitches are nicely gathered. Perfect. You see, so we've got the end. Now grab your needle, pull it through the back, turn your hat now inside out. Oopsie daisy. And now what I would like you to do is go around all those stitches again that we have gathered here to secure this, to give it a bit more stability. So go around again. Make sure you pull tight to close up the opening, and now we can weave in our end. So what I usually go, I go under three stitches, then miss one and go back under the other two. That way my yarn is strapped and it's not going to unravel. Cut the excess, and now we are ready for our pom-pom. So grab your pom-pom maker if you haven't. If you don't, then please do make a pom-pom whichever way you wish. This pom-pom maker consists of 2 parts, and it also has 2 halves, so the bottom and the top. So open the top half, the 2, I call them flippers, the 2 flippers here. With your excess yarn, wrap the yarn around 1 half. So all the way around until it's nice and full. So basically until it's kind of level here. Okay, so now when you're happy with that, cut the yarn, close that half, turn around, open the second one, and do exactly the same thing. So just wrap your round all the way around. When you're happy with that one, close it, cut off the yarn. Oops, let's cut off this little bit as well, so we need it. So now what we're going to cut, we're going to now cut along the groove that is formed by joining of the 2 parts. So you see, we're going to go all around and cut our work. So cut this pom-pom in half. And then do the same on the other side. Okay, now cut yourself about 50 centimeters of yarn and then place this yarn into the middle of the groove here, all the way around. Do a knot, tighten it nicely, make sure it's nicely there, and then go around again and make a knot. Okay, now what you are going to do is open the little flippers on both sides and separate the two parts of the pom-pom maker. Give the pom-pom a bit of a shake. And now what we have to do is trim so it's nicely, so it's beautifully rounded. So just trim all the little bits that are sticking out too much. So trim it as much as you like. Make sure obviously you don't trim those two ends of your tail, because this is what we will need to attach our pom-pom to the hat. Grab your tapestry needle, feed one end through, grab your hat. You see where you've got the center here? Go on one side of the center and pull the pom-pom through. Pull the tail through, sorry. Now grab the other end. And do the same on the other side. You see, so let's let we go here. You see, so we've got one coming out here and one on the other side. I don't do it directly through the center because I always find that going on the side of the center pulls it in a lot nicer, and it doesn't tend to come, you know, come loose a bit. It just keeps it there a bit tighter really. Pull it through. Now turn your hat inside that wall. Going through the other side. Again, go onto the opposite side through and try to go through the pom-pom as well. So you pull it in a bit nicer. So you see, going through the middle strand just to give it double security. So it makes sure that it stays there nice and tight. Pull it down, go back the same way you came in. And now what we're going to do, pull on those two ends nice and tight. I usually give those two ends a little knot. So I tie them in a knot, and then I'm weaving the end. I can weave it around really. Again, going under few of the strands, under few of the stitches. And back again. Cut this one off and repeat the same with the other one. Not obviously going through the pom-pom, but just weaving it in. Let me just cut it, it's a bit too long. Okay, so again, weaving the tail nicely. And then back again, and that should do it. And voila, your gorgeous hat is finished. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then please do like, subscribe and share. And I hope you enjoy making your lovely little hat.